Hi ladies, welcome to another episode of the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Barr, and I'm really excited for you to be here today. So if you are interested in finding out how my client made back her entire five-figure, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, five-figure investment with me in 1 week of working with me, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the steps that I took her through in order to create that quick cash in her business, and ensure that not only has she covered all of my costs for the rest of the year, but also all of her business expenses for the rest of the year with the money and the sales that we've created in the last 7 days. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means that anything she now sells for the rest of the year is profit, pure profit, like literally profit. Like, how exciting would that be to be in July and still have like 6 months left to play with in the year and know that everything that comes in is pretty much going into your pocket? That would be a pretty exciting place to be, right? And it's ultimately what we all need to be striving for. So as a business coach, one thing I feel really passionate about is not about just creating these high cash months in your business. It's about finding smarter ways to make sure, obviously I'm a money mindset coach, wealth activator for women as well. So it's also ensuring that that money isn't then going to waste, and it's being put to work in the most efficient way possible. But it's also about ensuring that you are then utilizing it in the most efficient way to create more income and reinvest it into other things that your money ends up working for you and not the other way around. But also by making sure that you are operating a profit first method, i.e. you are getting paid. Because my business journey was not always that straightforward, and at the very beginning stages of business, I think we accept a lot of the fact that at some point I will make money, I will put time into this, I will put energy into this, I'm going to invest in this, and at some point I will make money. I'm going to do this guest expert session, I'm going to run this course for free, I'm going to do this thing. And then there's got to come a point, ladies, where you actually get paid. And really, you should be starting your business from the outset with that mindset that, yes, there is only so much capacity that I have for free work and exchanges of services. Like, I'm not here for any of that. And it's about the transaction of receiving and giving that I feel really passionate about. So that this episode is super exciting. So the first thing that we did when she came to me that I feel was really good and that a lot of people don't do is she actually recognized that she needed support. A lot of the time when I work with coaches, even other business coaches, they are so blinkered to what they think they know that they have really stopped themselves from opening themselves up to more possibilities in their business. So this is the difference between a fixed, I know it all, nobody can tell me, to a growth mindset where the possibility, and an abundance mindset. Because the reality is, I just had a one-to-one session with a client, and it's like, the good thing is there is no end of ways that you can grow your business. There are no end of ways that you can put your offer in front of your ideal client. And that's the exciting thing for me as a manifesting generator. Like, I need to have that new energy and anything is possible. If I felt like I had done everything I could possibly do and there's nothing else, and it's just, no, that's just it, that would not be very exciting for me. So but yet some women get into that where it's like, well, this is how I've always done it, and this is what gave me my last cash month, or this is what somebody else has told me will give me a cash month. And it's like, well, that's not always it. There's always more things to try. And it's the good thing is, so the bad thing is there's always more things that you can do, and the good thing is there's always more things to do. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming and you can end up like following shiny objects, and you can end up throwing spaghetti at the wall, and you can end up doing all the things. But the good thing is, because there is so many opportunities, you really only have to tune in and listen to what feels good to you. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Can I say this for the women at the back? You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your business. It's your party. That's the exciting thing. And yet we really don't appreciate the personal power and the choice that you have in your business. So the good thing is she recognized that what she'd been doing up until that point was not necessarily working for her. She needed some support and fresh eyes in her business, and she was okay with receiving that feedback. So that was what was really exciting, was that first of all, she recognized that she needed support, and you only know what you know, right? The next thing was, obviously, she invested in my support. Now, there is no way that she would have invested 5 figures into me and not got a result, because not only is it's almost like statistically, energetically impossible to me. If you've got that amount of skin in the game, you have got a certain level of conviction and desire and passion behind what it is that you want. This is now moved from, oh, it would be nice to it's fucking happening. It's a non-negotiable. And I love working with women at that stage because they've already decided not only that they're worthy of receiving that sort of money in return because they're willing to give it out, but they are also worthy of being supported, and they are worthy of like that greater level of visibility, that greater level of success. That's a great place to meet a client at, when they've already decided that their success is non-negotiable and they are willing to invest and get some skin in the game with their business. You know, yes, you can grow businesses with minor expenses very organically, but the problem with that is, where is the real motivation to make that work when times are hard? When it is a case of, I need this work. And I was just talking about this with a client about my experience of working with entrepreneurs that have really gone on and created incredible success, is because they've come from a place of, this is a non-negotiable, either because they need it to work, because they're relying on that income, they don't have a backup plan. This is the, like, they don't have childcare and things. Like, for me, I'm officially unemployable. My business is not a nice to, it's a, it absolutely is not going to be any other way, because I've got 5 kids and I'm officially unemployable. My school run is like 3 hours a day. Like, I could not possibly work for anybody else, nor could I be told by anybody else at this point, you know. So that makes me the ultimate person to work with as a client, because you best believe if I'm investing high ticket to work with a coach, I'm showing up with every call. I am making like those changes. I'm listening to everything that you're putting down, and I'm in full receiving mode, because I understand that the transformation is in that transaction, and that money that I gave you, that's me saying, I'm ready, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I've decided. And then equally, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth, and I am really listening and embedding and taking action on what it is that you're telling me to do. You know, I'm not going to turn up and be like, yeah, that's nice, thanks, bye. Like, I've got skin in the game here. I'm here for the whole experience. And so that was like step number 2. She decided that her success was no longer going to be, it would be nice to, you know, launch this thing and have these people in it, to, right, we're now doing this thing, let's go. Like, that's the best place to meet a client. She was also super open. So I would say, like, she checked her ego at the door. So again, as I've said with business owners, you can sometimes get into that place where it's like, well, this is how I do things around here, and this is what I'm known for, and I can't do anything else because this is what it's like. They box themselves into a corner where it's like, well, I'm known for this one thing, so I can't talk about this thing, I can't sell this thing, I can't deliver this thing, I can't do this thing. And it's like, you know, you're really leaving yourself very stuck there. When you are in that growth place where it's like, I am ready to understand that there are infinite ways that I can do the thing that I want to do, and I am ready to receive new ideas, new inspiration, and I'm going to remove all ego, even if it's like, I don't want to do that thing because I might look silly. It's like, I'm just going to give it a go and see, you know, see what happens. I always say, as a business owner, you need to approach everything with a sense of curiosity, and not everything is going to be a 10. Not everything is going to win. Not every launch is going to be knocked out of the park. Sometimes it can be crickets, even now, because I'm always in that testing phase of business where I am always pushing the boundaries of what's next. Not only for me, because I am a curious creature, and because I have such a growth mindset that energy dissipates very quickly. So I'm always moving on, and I'm taking the learnings with me, but I'm moving on to the next thing. But also because I want to be innovative and pioneering for my clients. You know, I want to bring latest strategies. I want to bring things that are working well, latest platforms. Like, I love the psychology behind why some platforms convert and why they don't, and all the things that I'm always learning. Always, that's why I've got like, God, 6 or so modalities, and looking at others at the end of the year, because I'm always like, there's just, I've got such an abundance mindset that you have to have that. You've got to leave your ego at the door. You've got to be willing to fail a few things. You've got to be willing to try a few things. And that's what I loved about her. She was like, literally, what I've done has only got me to this point. Whatever you say, like, let's go, let's just give it a whirl and see what happens. The first thing we actually did in terms of tangible strategic steps was around getting really clear on what is it that you're actually selling. Like, I know it sounds silly when you can be journaling, you're like, right, I've got this program, these are the modules, this is what they're going to get, this is how many calls, this is what I'm going to charge. And it's like, well, what is it that you're actually selling? You know, what is the transformation? Why do people need to be in this offer at this point with you? Like, why you? Why this offer? Why now? Like, Sometimes you need to spell it out for people. And if you aren't completely clear and you can't articulate that, then if you're confused, your audience will also be confused. And this is where, for me as a business coach that's been around for a really long time, I sometimes get triggered by the audacity and the entitlement of some people, where they're like, well, buy my shit. Buy my shit. I just made it. You've got to buy it. I don't even know what it is. Buy it. You know, it's like, just to be in my energy, buy it. And it's like, no, not everybody. I think those long days of like the fear-based marketing and the FOMO and all the things, like, don't get me wrong, that still works out, and we can absolutely leverage energy and excitement around an offer to increase the sales on that offer. But don't assume that people are just, don't insult your audience and assume that people are just going to buy it because you said so. It's like, what is it that they will actually get? Think about the end user. And this isn't about niching down to ideal clients and what coffee does she drink, how much money does she have in her pocket. Like, all of that is just ridiculous to me. You are your ideal client. What is it that you would have invested in? What would have made the difference for you? If somebody had come to you 5 years ago and said, if I gave you this program at this price point, this would literally bypass all of those chunks of that time, give you back another 2 years of your life where you tried to figure it out, and then you would get to this result. What is that result? You know, that's ultimately what you're selling. And equally, it's also getting clear on like the intention and the values and the point of the offer that you've created, like what is it? But then, and also speak to the highest possible work, of the highest possible outcome of that work. A lot of the time when women are talking about their offers, they're like, hey, it's just going to be really nice, it's going to be really great, and it's going to be a great community, and this is going to give you everything you need. And it's like, yeah, just be nice, like just buy my stuff. And it's like, you can go one way or the other. And that's essentially where she was like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be great. Like, you should just be in this thing because it's going to be nice. And it's like, we instead want to get to, what is the highest, most audacious outcome of your offer? If the people showed up with the right energy and they did everything that you've done, what could they actually create in terms of success, whatever that is that you're selling? What could they actually get from that? And it's like, well, in theory, if they did all the things that I told them to do, and they were super fucking consistent, and they, you know, lent on me for feedback, and they leaned into the community, like, they could actually like do this thing actually. And that's what we started to speak about. So instead of moving from the energy of buy my stuff because you should, or buy my stuff because I said so, or buy my stuff because it will be nice and it'll probably, you know, be a good thing to invest in, it's buy my stuff, this will change your fucking life, and this will give you 7 figures in revenue. Boom, mic drop. That's the energy where you need to be selling your offers from. And if you are in a place where you don't know any of those elements, why you, why this offer, and why now, then you really need to get clear on that before you start to go out and market it, because it will not have the same level of impact. You can't sell it with the same level of conviction, and you're not going to get the same level of conversion. So spoiler alert, we don't even have a sales page for this offer yet. And she has already made so much money in sales from DM voice notes, personal reach outs, emails, like all of the things, because we have got so clear on who is this for, what will they get from it, and why is now the perfect time to invest in it. And that was enough to get all of those people off the fence that had been somewhat circling her energy and all the things for a while, but had never actually felt the need to lean in and actually buy anything. We also then got super proactive. So this is about making invitations to work with you, people. So what I see a lot of the time is that even people coming into the space now straight out the bat, what they're trying to do is scale themselves out of their business from the get-go, because that's what other people have told them to do, where it's like, oh, you know, I work 2 hours a week in my pants and I don't even have to speak to people and I make hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like, I genuinely believe that those days have gone, and that those people that created that success when they were bringing something new to the market, where they were at a particular time where people needed that and it felt innovative and fresh, could they continue to replicate that success today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because people are more discerning about where their money is going. People need to know someone before they invest. It's almost like the full circle return to relationship building. And that's what feels really good for me as a business coach, is because that's where I started my journey, with literally going out into the high street with leaflets with my bricks and mortar business, with going into other businesses and saying, hey, I've got this shop, it sells this thing. Would you like it? Here's a leaflet. There is nothing like getting a no to your face, literally to your face. No, we're good. Ugh, like response to really toughen you up as an entrepreneur, that like, okay, on to the next. Well, someone else will. And every person that says yes is money in my pocket. It means that my business is becoming more and more sustainable. It means I can do more and more great things with that money. And when you've had that to your face, do you know what? People ghosting you on the internet is absolutely fine. Like literally, it's no big fucking deal. And I've had some instances where I've done some high profile press opportunities and had like thousands of comments. Obviously, a woman who talks about success, a woman with as a single parent, like it's gonna bring everybody else's crap out of the woodwork and projected solely onto your plate. And I didn't read any of it. Why would I? I don't care. How is that going to add anything to my life? How is that going to add or, you know, do anything positive to me to read any of that stuff and absorb those people's limiting beliefs and childhood trauma and conditioning and make that about me? That's a them problem. That's not a me problem. But that comes from having those learned experiences of what's the worst that can happen in business. People might not clap for you and you might get a no. Okay, that's okay. Like if that's the worst thing, let's keep it moving, not a problem. Like the best thing is I could have this absolutely incredible heart-led business that is going to be built on a foundation of strong relationships with people that are going to stick with me for years and years and years, that are going to evolve as I do. And I've got clients that have been with me for 2 or 3 years because they've seen my evolution, they've seen my growth. I know them, like, you know, I know their kids, I know their ambitions, I know their goals. It means I can refer them. Like I referred over £50,000 worth of business to other female business owners in the last, like, God, have 6 months, 12 months alone. And I've always been that person. I want to get to know the person behind the business. I want to understand this. I want to, because equally people like to be, you know, helpful, right? I like to be useful and helpful. I'll always pass people's services on. That's why that has shaped my whole business model. That's the purpose of my Facebook group, so that women can genuinely network and collaborate. And there's already women doing business in there as we speak. Like I checked the comments before I came on, and that feels really bloody good for me. But that comes from being proactive and having relationships. So I've got I'm building those relationships. Sorry. So when you are in launch mode, you've already got like people in your mind that are like, yes, this would be amazing for so and so and so and so, or people that have reached out to you previously. Those are your low hanging fruit. I recently did there's like so many things coming up, but I recently did the 10 days 10K challenge. And that was like day one. Who are the people already in your audience that have either spoken to you previously, are your biggest cheerleaders, or have bought from you previously? Because those are the obvious ones to sell to, because they already know, like, and trust you. And they are most likely to convert. They're 80% more likely to buy the next thing. And as long as you created this thing with their evolution in mind, then why would they not buy it? You know, why would they not? If you've delivered results, they love you, they've already bought from you before, why would they not want to continue in that energy again? So that's the thing. That's the first thing. And I just had an event that isn't even launching until September that I've already sold out in June, because I already had people in mind. I was proactive about getting out there and making invitations to anybody expressed an interest. I didn't wait for people to buy and click on the link and all the things. I was like, hey, this is going to be fucking amazing. I would love to have you there. It's just a small group of women. Are you interested? If it's a no, okay, that makes room for somebody else. If it's a yes, let's go, let's do this thing. It's going to be amazing. And a lot of the time, that's what people are avoiding in their business. And it makes me really sad, because you're missing such a great opportunity to build relationships and networks. And not everybody you're going to sell to. That's the thing. My network is so extensive, and they're not all people that are going to buy from me, but they may be people that I can help in other ways, people that I can send clients to. Like, it's all about when one rises, we all rise, right? So that's what I feel really good about. The next thing was obviously, like, she kept herself super accountable. So having a coach in your pocket, or a community that you can rely on to keep you accountable to your goals is usually like the number one thing that's missing. We are all motivated and intelligent women, but if you haven't got somebody that's like, come on, you said you wanted to do the thing, how's that going? Or even just knowing that people are rooting for you and wanting to check in, and having the opportunity to bounce ideas off somebody, like that is a game changer in business, regardless of what stage you're at business, or even just as a woman, having somebody that can be a sounding board is so powerful, like so powerful. I can't even tell you, and everybody deserves that. So that was what we did. And this isn't about a like daily check-in, like, oh, how is everything, like how's the kids, da-da-da. This was, we've got work to do, like high value focused conversations and accountability. Now this won't be every day going forwards, but whilst we're in launch, you best believe like I'm there every day, like what's going on, following up on this one, the fortunes in the follow-up. And it's about those high value focused accountable conversations. Like that's a game changer. The next thing was really around focusing on the people that are investing and not worrying so much around, oh, but I said I needed so many people, and worry just about the money. It's not about the money, and it's also about the money. But if you just focus instead on giving those people that are investing a really incredible experience, not only does that just give the universe more of what you want, and just really train it that this is safe for me to receive, this feels exciting, brain likes to move away from pain and towards pleasure, so that makes it better for you, but also for the person coming in, like they're going to feel that, but also the people that are watching. There's no reason why you can't be leveraging this on your socials and celebrating the people that are investing in you. It shows again that you are safe for people to invest with, other people are doing it too, and you're excited for that. You're integrity led, you're value led, like all of this is selling without selling, which is how I like to do it. I don't purposely like to be selling anything as such, in the way that selling for me is like a complete reframe, it's service. But equally, the more that I can encourage people without actually having to say buy my stuff, the better. And then finally, I think it is around having that energy and that community to keep you going, because you've got this infinite potential to create quantum shifts and absolute financial fucking miracles at any point. That's the reality. You do. But if you don't believe that, or if your energy dips, or if you lose your, love for it for a few days, that's costing you money. And it's like having a leaky bucket. The energy and the good mojo and karma is just like falling out the bottom of it. You need hype girls when you're in launch mode. You need a community of cheerleaders behind you when you're in launch mode. You, even in your business anyway, like you need people that are going to celebrate that $7 win with that 10,000 paying for. Like you need to, not only for your own self, but also then you're showing other women what's possible for them too. It's why every one of my containers has a community element. And obviously I'm in launch at the moment for the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy 2.0, where I will be going so much deeper on this relaunch with the how you can do these things, and so that you can get out of your own way and actually do the damn thing, so you can have that greater sense of accountability, so that you can have that community, so that you can have somebody to brainstorm against, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want within that 6 months, but you have everything you need. There is nothing that's going to be left uncovered to create a scalable and sustainable business in alignment with your human design, because obviously that's something that I feel really passionate about, and I'm super excited to share that. So this is all going to be launching in September. If that sounds like something that's of interest to you, there is a pre-launch at the moment this week that is available till Friday, but genuinely it's like, it's going to change your life. This will be the last program that you will ever have to invest in, because it will evolve as I do. And I'm so very excited. So if that sounds good to you, obviously drop me a message, let me know, or reach out via the links in my show notes and all the things. But I am so excited. I hope that you've got value from this episode. So essentially it is getting really clear, obviously, setting yourself up for success from the outset and deciding that your success is non-negotiable, ensuring that you've got the right support and guidance to see you through all the things that you don't know. It's about keeping yourself accountable, really being precious with your time and having those high value focused conversations and doing those high value focused tasks, prioritizing the money making tasks, not trying to do all the things alone, because you will be missing opportunities and you will be losing out on money and leaving it on the table. Definitely. It's about being really clear on what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and why now is the best time. Well, we're halfway through the year, so you absolutely have time to create consistent 5K months by Christmas if you invest in this program now, like 100%. It's about being proactive, and it's about really keeping your energy in a good place and accountable, and all the things as you move through that launch period. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know what your key takeaways are. I will be jumping into Facebook to have a look at the comments and answer any questions that you might have.